Okay, let's take a look at how to solve a system of equations by what we call substitution. Substitution is where we take one letter and we sub in an expression for another one. Now this one happens to be an easier one to do because we have one of the letters, in this case x, all by itself, and it's equal to this -2 minus 2y, or this whole algebraic expression. So what I can do is I can take that algebraic expression and put it in where I see the x, because they're equal. X is equal to this expression, and so I can put that in for x. Now, if you didn't have a letter alone, you would have to do a little bit of solving work to get the letter alone first, but we happen to be set up and ready to go, which is great. So I'm going to be very careful to plug the entire expression in where I see the x, and after that, it's really just like solving in an equation we learned how to solve in the previous units. We're going to start by distributing. To get rid of those parentheses. We're then going to combine like terms on the left-hand side of the equal sign. I've got these right here, groups of y's, so I'm going to combine them together. -6y plus 4y does give me -2y. Well, that was not a very good 2. Sometimes the pen does not listen to the computer very well. And then we're going to go ahead and solve, first by adding 6 to both sides. And then dividing by -2. And be really careful with your negative signs. In this case, y is going to be a -10. Now remember, we're not done yet. Each of these, what we call simultaneous or double equations, do have two answers, an x and a y, or an r and an s, two letters, two answers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that first equation. I'm going to use the first equation. It's already set up to be x equals, so it's actually a little bit easier. You could use the second one if you wanted, but this just, because it's already set up to be x equals, it is a little bit easier to use. -2. -2 times 10 is a +20. Sorry about my 2's, guys. I guess the pen doesn't like the curly letters. -2 plus 20 is 18. Now, since these are x and y's, we can actually write them as ordered pairs, the x coming first and the y coming second if you'd like to. But you could also leave it as x equals 18, y equals 10. Just as long as, remember, you got to have two solutions and two answers when you're done. If you have just one, you're not completely done with the equation, so be sure to double check. Alright, I hope that helps you out with the substitution method. Happy solving!